oh, let's get married. This time I decided that
we're hitting the hard topics. We're doing the hard stories. The hard-hitting journalism.
Exactly.
This is it.
So I recently saw a clip of Couples Retreat. For those of you who don't know, Love and Hip Hop has always been like one of the shows that I really watch all the seasons for, like Atlanta, LA, New York, Miami, all the franchises.
You watch all of them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I recently saw a clip, people dragging Mendeecees. So if y'all don't know, there has been a couple on Love and Hip Hop New York, and their names are Yandy and Mendeecees. And I recently saw a clip, I guess there's a show called Couples Retreat, and they're on it. And I recently saw this clip, and I'm gonna show my twin because
I feel like when he was locked up, I was locked up. Well, you ain't emailed for 2 months. Yeah, for 6 months. Because I was talking to you every day. No, you don't. No, you don't. Every single day, 3 times a day. And if I didn't talk to you, it was a problem. And then it would be, you know, you don't have to do this. And for me, that felt like, don't negate what I have been doing. Don't negate me making sure you and the kids are good. Don't negate the calls I did pick up. Do you understand what my life was like? I'm raising 2 babies. I'm running 5 companies. But you want to talk about emails and calls? Talk about how these bills was going to get paid. I don't have time to write emails and letters. Nobody that's your woman wants to feel like they're easy to get over. I mean, if I could deal with my mom leaving me, and that's the trauma, I felt like I could deal with anybody leaving me. I say that to you all the time, like, if the role in reverse, would you hold me down? If the shoes was on the other foot, you know, I don't know what I would be able to do. Yeah, that's a problem. So, Mendeecees finally admitted that he doesn't know if he would have stayed if the roles were reversed, and that's so hurtful because people have said to me, "You're doing all this, but he do that for you," and I've always combated with, "Yeah, he would. We love each other." But to hear him sit here in my face and be like, "I don't know," listen, I'm telling you the truth.
What do you think, twin? What are your thoughts?
I want to hear yours. I want you to.
Okay, so if anybody hasn't watched Love and Hip Hop before, he does have 2 other baby moms, I believe, and they've been together for a really long time. I don't know actual dates or anything like that, but
They're married.
They're married now, but they just had gotten married. I think maybe like a couple months before he went in or something like that. And then he does have 2 kids with her.
You said he was locked up for like 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah, I think so. I gotta double check though. Let me double check that one. I'll correct it on the screen. But yeah, it was for at least 3 years, I believe. And so obviously in Couples Retreat, they're like hashing out, like, I guess all of the insecurities that he had during his time locked up and stuff like that. And I could understand like feeling like I'm locked up and they're just out there in the free, you know, with freedom and being able to like go wherever and do whatever, and, you know, possibilities of this person meeting another person and, you know, leaving me behind and all of this stuff. But like if she's constantly like making an effort to talk to you, and obviously I don't know the truth. I don't know if she talked to him every single day like she said, because he's over here saying something else. Like, I don't know the truth about that. What I do know is they probably did talk at least twice a week, because like he has kids with her. Like, I don't see her just neglecting the whole relationship altogether. Like, they were married. Like, you're married at this point. Like, I'm sure the kids want to talk to him. I'm sure like she really made an effort for them to talk to each other and stuff like that. So I think that it's really crazy to hear him say that He doesn't know if he would have done the same. They're married. Like,
I'm confused.
Where in that situation were you like, oh, I don't know? Papoose Remy Ma did like, I don't know how many years. A lot. And I think they had a kid too, or something. I don't really know the full history, but he stayed with her throughout the whole thing. And like,
as you would think somebody would.
Yes. And I just don't understand the audacity of people to like, okay,
depends on what they did.
Yes, for sure. But if you're married, I just think that it's different than if you're like boyfriend and girlfriend. Obviously, if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, I feel like you have more of the liberty to just up and leave. But I think that like when you're married, it kind of changes things. You're like bound together and you have kids together. And again, if you're boyfriend and girlfriend and you have kids together, still you can up and leave. Like, I feel like you're not obligated to try to make it work versus when you're married. I feel like you made a covenant before God to like stand together through whatever. And I think that like people don't really take it as serious as other people. And I think that throughout life, or even like these shows, you kind of see people expecting other people to do stuff for them because I would do it for you. Why aren't you doing it for me? Kind of how Yandy is telling her, like, I did it for you. Like, I would expect the same thing, but he's over here saying like something else. And I just think that it's just so weird to me that like people don't really take vows seriously, or a covenant seriously, like a marriage, I guess, seriously like that. Like, I don't know. Thoughts, concerns. Okay. I just think that's crazy.
Clarification.
Okay.
So he is upset with her for not talking to him more when he was locked up.
I guess.
He wanted her to email him more frequently.
Yes.
Talk to him more frequently and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess.
And he felt like if she wasn't willing to do that, he would tell her, well, you could always just like leave this relationship. Yeah. You could always just leave me if you're not gonna...
If she missed a call. If she missed his call, or like she didn't write him or email him, I guess, as frequently.
So he was expecting that from her. But he doesn't even know whether he would have actually stayed with her if she was the one that was locked up.
Right.
I'm just a little bit confused about that.
Right.
I'm also confused. This is just a side note, but the fact that he has Harriet and Rosa and whoever else written on his shirt, like these literal like black queens written, like names on his shirt.
Yeah, I saw that too.
You think that Harriet and Rosa would be cool with that?
No.
You think that they would think that telling your significant other, I want you to do this, that, and the other thing for me, but I don't know if I would even stay with you if the roles were reversed?
Right.
You think Harriet and Rosa would be like, oh yeah, that's a black king?
Sips tea.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. And I just think that like in relationships, if people are insecure, that's natural. But at the same time, if you're wanting to marry somebody and you're making that commitment, why are you making people why are you making the other person feel like they're not doing enough, or they're not doing, like, what are you doing? You clearly made bad decisions to get yourself locked up. And now you're like badgering the other person for being free and like not like responding when you want them to, or like, I mean,
as if your decisions didn't wind you up in that situation. Right. I'm assuming.
Right. Or something. Yeah. And I mean, obviously I don't know the full backstory. For all I know, he could have taken the rap for both of them. I don't know, but I don't think that that was the case, because I do kind of like vaguely remember it on Love and Hip Hop when she kind of vaguely talked about it. Obviously, they can't talk details or anything like that, but I just think that like when you're married, there are expectations put on you. And I think that people fail to meet them because, or their own expectations that they have for the other person. Like, yeah, like you said, I want you to do this, this, and this, but I don't know if I would. Like, where do they do that at? That's kind of crazy to me, considering you have 2 kids too, like with her. It's not like she's just some random off the street and you're with together and then, you know, they get locked up and then whatever. Like, I don't know. To me, it's sad and crazy. It's really crazy to me. I just don't understand it. And I do understand why she would be hurt by something like that, because especially making all these like adjustments and stuff. And she was saying that she runs like 5 businesses. I know that she was like, she started out like managing like Jim Jones and like their whole like Jules and stuff like that, like Dipset, and you know, just managing artists and stuff like that. And I think like now obviously she has 2 kids. I don't know if she has the time for that, so she probably has made several businesses and trying to like keep them afloat, especially not having help. Like that would be hard. You know, that would take a lot of time. I don't know, I just think that there's a lack of understanding, like
Completely.
if she's keeping money in your books, she's keeping your kids clothed, fed,
Right.
the bills is paid,
house,
right? Like I don't understand where the
disconnect
right
is.
No, I don't.
Do you feel like, is he asking for too much from her? Do you think?
What is he asking? To talk every day?
When he was in jail, I guess.
Or emails?
Yeah, he said something about emails and missing calls or something.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's natural you're going to miss calls. Like, again, if she's running 5 different businesses, I would assume that she would miss a call a time or 2. I think that, like, it's not intentional. And I think that that is also maybe, like, he thinks it's intentional, but, like
she's purposely...
I'm busy. Like,
yeah.
What do you want from me? And, like, for her to... I did feel like she was kind of brushing the whole emails off when she was like, I'm so busy, like I don't have time to be writing emails and letters and stuff. And I feel like that should have been a compromise on her. Maybe not every week, but maybe once a month, and maybe she did, I don't know. But
yeah, that's the thing, is we don't know, you know.
Yeah, but I just think that like people in relationships, a lot of the time they're not ready. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to compromise. They're like, everybody is selfish. And I feel like more women, it's common that more women put up with BS than men do. And again, I don't know every relationship, and I do understand that there are men that put up with BS from women too. But a lot of my friends, I feel like it's more likely for the girl to stay in a relationship that's like toxic than it is for the guy. And I don't understand why. Like, guy, girl, whatever, if it's toxic, you need to remove yourself. Like, I walk away. You know what I mean? Like, just leave. Like, before it gets worse. And then I hate when people be like, oh, let's get married because after you get married, it'll get better. Where? It doesn't. I am under the impression that the Lord can change anybody.
Absolutely.
But I'm not staying for it. Like,
if that person doesn't want to change, God's not gonna force you to change.
Right, exactly. That's true. That too.
If they don't think there's anything wrong with them.
That too.
Which is one thing too, like people don't really self-examine
at all.
I have all this baggage. Like he's talking about, oh, my mom left me, so I have no problem with you leaving me. Like, okay, so you obviously have some damage, some baggage from your mom leaving you, and you're associating it with her. Like you think she's gonna leave you, or you think she wants to leave you because she's not showing you as much attention or as much affection as you're at, like the exact amount that you're asking for. You know what I mean? Like that's not, I'm not trying to be messed up, but like that's something that he needs to work through. That's not her fault that he feels that way. Like, yes, she can do things to like you said, try to compromise and stuff like that. But if he has like that at the back of his mind always, like, oh, she might leave me because my mom left me, that's something he needs to work out. It is.
Yeah.
And if that's something that he didn't like examine before getting into relationships with women, like, why not? Why haven't you ever thought to yourself, you know what, I'm prone to think that somebody's going to leave me. I'm prone to be kind of needy when I'm in certain vulnerable situations because I think that they're going to leave me the way my mom left me. Like, these are things that we got to kind of think about before you go and get into relationships with people and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it kind of like putting that expectation for
on
them.
that person to fix that void in you.
It doesn't work like that.
And I'm no expert.
Right, me neither.
Absolutely. I don't know anything.
Hence why I'm single.
Right. You don't have to You don't have to listen to me. I'm just giving I'm just a random person on YouTube giving my opinion. That's
random
all.
on the street, okay.
A random off the street.
I'm the random on the street that I was talking about earlier. Like,
just giving my opinion on YouTube
right.
on a little clip that I saw because I don't know these people.
Right.
From Adam.
Right. No,
but,
for sure.
Yes.
I think that people have a lot of expectations, even on friends. Like, you know, you talk about certain situations, like I would do this for that person if this ever happened or whatever. You entertain hypotheticals in your head, and you know, and then sometimes when stuff hits the fan and they're not there, you're like walking around hurt and upset at this person, but like you just can't expect stuff to go the way that you think it is in your head until stuff happens. And yeah, I don't know, I just think that like people just need to do a better job at self-examining,
being self-aware,
being self-aware, filling out where their traumas lie, fixing those things, communicating better, just a lot of things I feel like make a healthy relationship. And I feel like most people, well, I won't say most people, but I feel like a lot of people are not in healthy relationships. A lot of people that I see, whether it be around me or on TikTok, because people talk about their relationships freely and then expect people not to say anything. Like, I don't understand that part either, but that's neither here nor there. I just think that if you're tired of the BS relationship that you're in, then you need to walk away or live miserable for the rest of your life and stop complaining about it.
Make some changes.
Yeah, something.
Go seek some help.
Right. But I don't know, I'm about to watch the whole couples retreat though. Find out what's really good.
I guess at least they're trying to work through their issues.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, shout out to them for having to like, I mean, they don't have to. Obviously, they accept being on this show or whatever, but shout out to them for putting all their business out there for all of us to critique and hear.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? But is there anything else that you wanted to say about it?
No, I think that's it. I think we said it all.
Sorry if I came off too strong.
How?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just trying to figure out what Harriet and Rosa would think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yikes. Oh, no, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Yes.
Tell me what you think. Tell me what you guys think about relationships and why you're in them, why you're not in them, like how yours is. Like, I mean, how if you're in a healthy relationship, how does it work? Where's the compromise? Like, do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree? Like, I'm curious to know. And if you've ever been in a toxic relationship, what was the final straw?
What happened?
But yeah, agree, disagree, comment please, and we love you, and
know your worth, kings and queens.
real talk.